Hi guys, how are we? Troy here from One Last Cast. I know usually these videos people do out in their shed, you know, with their big little walls behind them and all that sort of stuff and plastics hanging up. But it's too cold tonight, so I'm going to be doing this one outside. So there won't be any beer cracking or big lure walls behind me in this one. Anyway, I thought I'd do a video on making a release aid or release weight for fishing, and I think it's very important that you have a suitable release weight or release aid on your boat, because a lot of times you get fish out of the deep or in the warmer weather and they just won't swim back down, and a lot of fish you can lose by that if you're ill-equipped on your boat. So yeah, you have to be prepared. So anyway, I'm going to show you one that I have made a couple of now, and I reckon they're great, because all the ones I saw were, you know, you stick a hole in the fish's face or you hook it on like this and do this, and there wasn't actually that many options when you start looking on the net. So I just thought, or if you go to a local fishing shop, especially if you're near the fresh water, because people don't think they're necessary, or I don't know, but they certainly are. If you're fishing for golden perch or cod, I've saved countless number of fish by having a good release weight. Prime example, the other week, I just put up a photo last week, I think it was, of I think it was a metre 12 or metre 15 Murray cod. I released it. I looked after it out of the water. It was a big fat thing, big bloated belly on it. And I don't know if it just eaten or what, but anyway, it's a big bloated fish. I took a few photos. I was quick. I put it back in the water. I actually videoed it swimming off. And another beautiful thing about the live scope, if you do have one, is you can watch those fish under the water as they're cruising away. And I just noticed it stayed close to the surface, and then I ended up following him, and next minute he just rolled and he came back up, and I was like, oh my gosh. And this was a massive fish. So I hooked it. I thought, what am I going to do? And I thought, beauty, release weight, hooked it on. It actually wasn't heavy enough, so what I done is I just put my tackle back on, which most of you guys probably already have, lure fishermen. They're heavy as, you know, the big tackle backs. I added that to the rope and I dropped it back down, gave it a yank, fish swam off. It was awesome. I watched it on the scope. It's cruised off. It started heading down and then it just got to the bottom and cruised off. So that was awesome. Anyway, so for this, I come up with the idea of using one of these. So you can buy these from any tackle store now. You can use them in the fresh or salt. They won't rust, and it's perfect. So pretty much big heavy sinker or heavy item, whatever you want to use. One of these lip grips, plastic lip grip, and just some cheap Bunnings rope. This is just 3mm utility rope. It's rated to, should have memorized it, 140 kilograms. So you're not going to break it. You're not holding the fish up. You're putting it over the edge. You have your rope already loose in the boat, ready to go with however many meters you think you might need. Drop it over the edge with it clipped on. Once the fish goes down, give it a yank. Happy days, as some would say. So pretty much straightforward. I'll make it pretty quick to give you guys an idea. You probably already got the idea just by watching it, because I know most people will get where I'm going. So pretty much you just want one hole through the base like that. Doesn't have to be anywhere special. Through the end that actually clips. That's the end I found works better. So now get your rope. I thought I do have a cigarette lighter here that helps for the ends of your rope. So the other end, you just, when you're buying brand new, they look like this, and they have a tap, they have this loop off. Always use that if you are using it as a lip grip, so you don't end up with a fish swimming around with this on its face. So put that around your wrist, tighten it up, use it if you have to. Cod, you don't have to. I always net them. Use a glove if you're worried about your hands. Smart with your hands. A lot of people go, oh, cod thumb, rah rah. You're not tough unless you use bare hands. That's stupid. If you're casting all day, last thing you want is your thumbs to be ripped up and trying to cast for the rest of the day. It's just stupid. That's like someone saying, if you're cutting a tomato, cut yourself, man. You're not tough unless you cut yourself. So that is, yeah, I reckon that's silly. So, get yourself a good pair of gloves, like those ninja gloves or whatever from Bunnings. I find they're awesome. You can jam your hand in its mouth, hold on to it, get your photos, release it. All good. All right. Now, what I find, get this rope, stick it through the handle end, right? There's so many ways you could do this, but what I do is just do a couple of the old double grannies. Pull that down tight. That can't come through that hole now. Make sure it's a good knot. Give yourself, I don't know, what are we going to say? 100 mil, something like that. Bit less probably. I'll probably end up cutting that off. Now, through your sinker at the other end, like so. Now, the sinker is lead, so it can, stretch at that hole. So you can use like a little stainless steel washer or something like that as well if you want, just to give you a bit more. So now I've got the sinker, the stainless steel washer. I don't know if you can see that, but yep, on there. And then just tie another granny knot, double granny, whatever you want to go for. Or if you're a truckie, you might want some other fancy knot, but I pretty much know the FG knot, the blood knot, and a couple of loop knots. So let's go with double granny. Righto, so that's what you got. Next, you got your handle. So get the rest of your roll, because that's heaps. They've got 20 meters on that. You're never going to release a fish in the fresh water deeper than that. Usually once they get down 3 or 4 meters, that's it, they're off. You're just getting them down to where the water pressure is a bit high. I'm no scientist, but I think that's what it is. Bit more water pressure, and they're fine. They can adjust. They'll roll back over and they'll swim off. So same thing here. Double granny. You want to make sure that this knot's the one that you want to be, sure of. Because if you lose your sinker, who cares? But if you lose the whole rig and the fish is still on the end of it, you might have a fish that can't shake it. Now, a big cod's going to shake that, no worries. It's going to just kick around and it's going to be off. So, but a smaller fish, yellow, might not shake it, especially if it's crook. But if you give that a good knot there and pull it, it'll fit into that gap nicely anyway. So now you guys have got the gist of it, whatever that word is. What have I got here that can show you? Some Bushmans. Right, so clip the Bushmans on right. So you got your fish on, you drop him over the edge of the boat, you lower him down. You obviously don't want to try to jiggle it around too much, but it takes a fair bit. I'm surprised how well that holds on. But you always got to be ready. You might bugger it up and, the fish might float back up, but, just keep trying, you'll get it. So then you lower the fish down, and then just from the boat, you just give it a bit of a boom. That's it. Fish swims off, pull it back up. Don't have to put any holes in the fish. It's great. I use it heaps, especially in competitions now, releasing yellows. If you don't need to vent them, that's a bonus. Obviously, if you have to keep them in the tank, you know, you might have to vent them. We use fin weights now, which we made up, and these if we have to. And I just think it's great. It's quick. You just grab it. There's no thinking involved. Click it onto the fish, drop it over the edge, lower it down, boom, give it a pull. Fish is gone. So anyway, I hope people get something out of that. I thought it was pretty cool when I first used it. I thought this thing's pretty awesome. It's basic. Yeah, I mean, with the whole lot, you're probably looking at 20, 25 bucks maybe. Not even, actually, maybe less. So yeah, anyway, look after your fish and happy fishing. Catch us later.